I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
Okay.
We've never been publicly out there.
Hi, welcome to this episode of Rice Hour. We upped our budget.
We upped our budget.
We have money now.
And we have a production assistant. Who's also our butler.
And our waiter.
And your roommate.
And my roommate. Anyway, welcome to this episode of Rice Hour. As you can see, I have my girlfriend here. The rumors are true.
It's me. You thought we were best friends. You thought we were really close.
As you can see, we're on a date night. I took my girlfriend out on a date. We have no food.
No food. Because we wanted to focus on each other tonight. What? We want to focus.
On our relations.
We want to focus all our attention on each other.
On each other.
And the drinks and the candles.
Exactly. And the camera.
And the cameras and the mics.
And in today's episode, I'm going to be going over 36 questions that supposedly make people fall in love. If you've never heard of these questions, basically they're 36 questions a scientist made that if you go over it, it basically makes you and a stranger fall in love. And then at the end of those 36 questions, you're supposed to stare each other in the eyes for 4 minutes.
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. It's going to be so awkward. I mean, no, it's not because
And
we're
then
lovers. Thank you.
We're not going to do that because
Okay, thank God.
Whoa, you don't want to stare into my eyes?
I mean, even though we've been in a relationship for a long time, it does feel sometimes eye contact. You know, because I'm so in love with you, eye contact still makes me a little nervous around you.
Before we go over the questions, I need to explain that I read through the questions and those questions suck ass. So I substituted...
Aren't the questions also like scientifically proven? Like,
yeah.
not scientifically proven, but it was like proven to like
make people fall in love. I don't know how true that is. I saw it on
Psychologically.
an episode of Big Bang Theory, so that's why we're doing this episode. Are you nervous?
I am, because actually no, I'm ready to fall in love all over again with you,
Right.
bestie.
Mm-hmm.
These drinks are good. Baja Blast.
Let's clink.
Clink.
I wish it made a sound.
Let's do a clink.
Two?
No, 4-minute eye contact and 4-minute lap dance.
That's 8
Why
minutes
not?
of my life I can't take back. Okay, so we'll start off easy. What is your earliest memory of each other?
You want to go first?
I'll go first, I
Okay.
guess.
Because maybe it's the same.
My first memory is going to each other's birthdays.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
The first time you ever invited me to your house, and it was at the building that you still live at, but it was a different apartment. And I came in and you were obsessed with Fireflies, and you kept playing that song so much.
How's it go? You would not believe your eyes.
10
million fireflies. And yeah, I do remember you coming over to my place, and I was like the DJ-ish. I was just on the computer while the parents were talking, and was I playing it on repeat? That'd be crazy.
You kept playing it
I
on
was
repeat.
playing it on
You were
repeat.
like, this is my
That's
favorite song.
so-
I remember coming in, you were playing that song, and I left you
I
still
was
playing
still
that song.
playing that song. That sounds so me, actually. I feel like I do that all the time
That
already.
sounds... And then at my birthday, it was like, you've been invited to my birthday a couple times. But I remember specifically this moment. It wasn't about you, it was your dad. You were at my cousin's house, the doorbell rings, me and my mom opened the door, and your dad's there with the lunchbox.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not embarrassed about it. Why did you have a lunchbox?
Because
Rubina?
Abby had so many allergies when she was younger, and I guess your parents didn't trust you to like...
Yeah, I was born with a lot of food allergies, like more food allergies than the average kid. Like, it wasn't just peanuts. It was like milk. It was dairy products. It was fish. It was all kinds of fish, actually. So as a child, when I was invited to birthday parties and whatnot, my parents, as you said, like, my parents didn't trust me to eat other people's foods because
You wouldn't
God
know
forbid,
that. Yeah.
you know, I could die.
Yeah.
And I was really young too, and my parents were really paranoid. So yeah, that sounds like something that happened at every birthday party where my parents are just bringing like a little lunchbox. That's so cute though.
It is so
Like,
cute.
my parents were so good to me. What food did we have there? Was the little marshmallows?
The marshmallows with the hot
Yeah.
dogs on the watermelon.
So Filipino. That's like every Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
Every Filipino joint had the, like, what is it? The barbecue sticks with marshmallow hot dog grape. Marshmallow hot dog.
It has to be on a watermelon.
Oh, right.
And then once all of those skewers were gone, we eat the watermelon.
Oh. Well, I was allergic to watermelon, so I wouldn't know. I mean,
what was the funniest moment we shared in school?
Not necessarily YouTube videos, but when we would set up a camera and just record us being dumb, and you would save you would save a lot of them on your Snapchat, and it was just us doing the dumbest shit.
Think about you all the time. You shoot my blood pressure through the sky.
On the Tuesday, got your girl in the color shade Tuesday, club going up.
Oh my.
You remember in music class we got bored one day and we put up all of the tripods. What is it called?
What the fuck you call those?
Where you put the music sheet, yeah.
The stands
and we made it in a way that it looks like it was a cult. So that way when our teacher came to class, he'd be like,
we were so bored because a lot of the time that classroom was either empty or really full. And I think that one time it was empty and we were like, you know what?
Fuck it.
Let's just give this classroom a makeover.
Because half of the time it's just like one of us has an idea and the other is like, oh my god, yes, that'd be great. And it's never like, I don't know, that's probably not it's always, yes, let's do it.
We were always down for whatever.
Yeah.
That's so
hyping
funny.
each other up.
So we set up the music stands in a circle, right?
And in the middle we had one stand really tall.
We should do a drawing because I don't think they know. That's how stupid our like little ideas were. Like I don't think they could even visualize it.
Thinking about it now, like it just, why did we do that? That
So
doesn't make
dumb.
any sense.
I have another one. It's not even funny. It's just like, what the fuck were we thinking?
Okay, what?
We were in our little cubicule. A cubicule is a private room where the musicians can like practice and whatnot. I don't know if we were skipping class.
Always.
But if we were skipping class, we were there because no one could catch us unless it was our music teacher checking up and it's like, what are you doing, aren't you supposed to be in class? Anyways, I think we were really bored that time and we had a lighter. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I know exactly.
We had a lighter and we had hair. And we were like, you know what, so you how did we even pitch that idea, first of all?
No, because let's burn each other's hair off. And then I was like, wait, no, what if there's a fire alarm?
No,
and then we look up and there's like a little like,
there's a smoke detector.
The smoke detector.
Right? I don't know how we pitched the idea, but you willingly plucked out a strand of your like one little hair, and we start lighting it up. The hair burns. It's not dramatic, by the way. Our reaction was dramatic because as we like stopped, we started smelling burnt hair all of a sudden. And we're like, hold on, that smell is really strong.
Yeah.
We panicked, and what did we do? Do you remember what we did?
I think we were just like,
we dropped everything. We start fanning the smoke detector.
When you open the door, we're like,
oh shit! Yeah. Do you remember that? We're like, no, because that was so funny because the smell was so like, I've never smelled anything like that. So I'm like, we're so gonna get caught.
What was our first big adventure together? Like a sleepover, a trip?
I always think about, why are you looking at me like that?
No, because I wonder what you're gonna say. In love, in lust. I look at you with love.
What? What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I just heard in love and I'm like, yes.
I said, why are you looking at me like that? And I said, I look at you with love.
Oh, with love, with desire.
Ew.
So lap dance later, right?
Oh, okay. My man's in the other room.
Okay. When we had our first job together,
Oh.
we would work. I think this is my answer. We would work the closing shifts together, and we would get off together too. And closing shifts was like 3 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. I remember sleeping over, and we planned to hit the lake after that, right?
Yeah.
We planned to hit Beaver Lake after that and like catch like breakfast too. And
we were planning to go see the sunrise.
Yeah.
But
I think we missed it. Yeah, because we were sleeping. Didn't I cut your hair?
Yeah. It was the day you cut my hair from my waist all the way to a
all the
bob.
way up here.
Literally
a
bob.
It was a mistake because it was uneven. I'm like, I need to go a little shorter. And you're like, okay, do it.
And you just kept going shorter until
did.
here. I think for me, it was like, I guess it's the number of times we've went to St. Joseph. And like, it's always felt like a different adventure every single time we go there. Like, even though it's the same destination, it's
Wait, you're
always
so
felt-
right. I didn't realize that.
Like, that was our spot.
Every time we went, it was a different for
different season, different time
Different
in our lives.
reasons.
Like, yeah, we just went.
Like the last time we went was, I think, before you moved out, right? Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that was sad for me because that was like the last time I was gonna like hang out with you when you were still living in the neighborhood.
What music defines our friendship?
You know what I was thinking?
No, our love, I mean.
Oh, our love, our relationship, romantic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Girls just went
I knew you were gonna say
because
that.
we were playing it earlier. Okay,
I
God
was gonna
forbid.
say, I was gonna say, I was wondering
Oh my,
when you hold me down.
that's a good one.
We always harmonize. I was wondering, can you hold me down?
Oh. No.
Was that good?
So Daniel Caesar.
Daniel Caesar.
Daniel Caesar. I call him that unironically because of you. So every time I bring him up in
Yeah, me
conversation,
too.
I'm like Daniel Caesar, and they're like,
It's Daniel Caesar. I did the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I say it unironically every single time. But
What was your favorite YouTube video that we filmed?
maybe not YouTube videos necessarily, but like videos like on Instagram too.
What did we make on Instagram?
Why you look good?
Meanwhile,
Kotaro.
you know what they're like?
Like little vlogs, like little trips that we didn't necessarily post on YouTube. Yeah, there's one with my sister where we're hanging out in
I
like a little
love it.
basketball court thing, and no one was using it, so we just set up the camera. No plan whatsoever. We just like played music and we just oh my god, so dope. I didn't realize you went back to that video as much as I did, just to feel nostalgia, just to feel something.
Yeah. I think a lot of our videos from high school that we made, I am pretty proud of for
Oh yeah.
for all of what we were given. Like, we were self-teaching.
Yeah. Oh my god,
each
you're
other.
so right.
We self-taught how to film, self-taught how to edit.
We
everything.
Like interviews, like we sacrificed our like introvertedness to like
Yeah. Go
to
out and
embarrass ourselves. Like
Yeah.
we was prodigies. We were
Yeah.
YouTube prodigies.
like those videos that we
kids.
made in high school when we were questioning people. Like,
Yeah.
I always go back to that one, but it's like,
It's so impressive how we were able to do that.
just go up. Hey, what would you do if bees came up and stung you and you had 3 jackets on?
and you had a BBL.
Was there a performance we did in music class that stuck with you?
Oh my god, I have a memory. Okay, well the answer is when we performed at OSM. It was super fancy because like the art scene, the music scene in Montreal is like super huge. We had the opportunity to perform there and we dressed up really nice.
It was our last year of high school.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's our favorite is because we were talking about this. Like,
Yeah.
it was the last time I really felt something. No, I don't know. It like, I felt so important. Don't you think? Because we were so young. It's like, I don't want to compare it to that, but it's almost like being on stage for the Oscars.
Like, that was such a great opportunity. Also, like, that's not something that is constantly given to us in our school. Like, we come from a public school.
yeah.
And it was just, I think it was an event where a bunch of other musical high schools were involved. Like,
come
Face
together.
was also there. And we all kind of performed. I think there was like maybe, I want to say 5 to 10 schools, including ours.
And I think we were the only public.
Yeah, the others were all
School.
like private schools. Was there ever a time you thought we were growing apart?
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like, I want to say the time when we were, like, in Cégep.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Abby isn't the type of friend that you have to talk to every single day, but I am.
Yeah.
Like, I need, like, to talk to you every
Yeah,
single
yeah.
day, so I think it was just maybe that time where it was, like, we weren't just seeing each other every single day, but
Yeah.
every time we did talk, nothing changed.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, no, it's exactly the way you described it. Like, I'm not someone who...
You're not a high maintenance friend.
Yeah, I'm not someone who has to text you every day to check up on you to make sure we're still friends.
Literally
Right.
today, I texted Abby like this morning. I was like, "Hey,
Hey,
Still coming?
You coming or what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready." Like, I don't know, because to me, it's always unspoken. Like, we don't need to voice that, like, "Oh, you're my best friend. I mean, you're
Yeah.
my lover."
oh," but that's when I was like, I think that's when I was also realizing that I need that, and then I was like, oh, like that's when I kind of, I guess, realized that we're two different people, but I was okay with it, you know?
Okay. No, because I've always known you were the kind of friend who needed that reassurance all that time. And I did feel guilty about it in the beginning because I don't know if it's an introvert thing, but like, and like even then, like in our earliest years of being friends, like I didn't like going out a lot, but you loved going out and you always wanted to hang out. I don't think I ever felt like we were growing apart. I feel like there are more periods where it felt like we weren't seeing each other or we weren't talking to each other. But in my head, I'm like, I know we're still best friends.
Yeah.
But we would go maybe like weeks without texting each other. We'd go months without seeing each other. We'd see each other like once, twice a year. And we'd be living like right next to each other. I think it's because we were just
Busy.
adulting. You
Yeah.
know? We were just being adults. Like we were at a point in our lives where we were in school and we were just...
Working.
It's not even like to be dramatic and either. Like
Just
it was just life, you know? But I don't think it necessarily like kept us apart.
What makes our friendship work after all these years? What makes our love work after all these years? We've been friends since the first grade.
I don't know. There are best friends out there who've been friends with each other for 10 years, but sometimes they be toxic, you know? Or sometimes they have like sometimes they have like really bad experiences and they still are friends with each
Yeah.
other. I can't think of times we were ever like really bad, really toxic, like we can't be friends anymore. Like I can't think of that.
Yeah.
That's why like I'm surprised because there are friends out there who've been friends 10 years, but it can't compare to how healthy like we are. So I can't like I don't know what
I think the difference is
So
just that we're
lucky.
not like...
bad people.
Yeah, it's like if we do get into arguments, it's only because like, okay, I've seen your face enough. Like,
Yeah.
we've never really like fully disagreed on anything. If it was
We've
something
never
we just-
like we've never hurt each other like
Yeah.
really bad. Like maybe I guess like a little bit.
like a little here and there.
A little
like,
here and
okay,
there,
Why'd you
but-
say that to me? Or,
but it's never been like I'm like cutting ties with you. I
Yeah.
don't ever want to be like we've never had calls like that.
I think the difference between them, it's like it's constantly a competition.
Oh, is that what you think it is?
You could tell whenever a friendship with a girl is like a competition versus one that is genuine.
It's more petty.
Yeah, and I don't
But
think we've ever
ours
gotten
were-
there.
Me too. Like
We're both
I
stupid.
have no idea like what kept us like. Maybe you're right. Like we've never been petty like that. No.
What do you admire most about me? That's one of the questions I didn't change.
Because we're in love and you want to keep it lovey-dovey.
Okay, I'm gonna name 3 things I admire about you. Don't start crying now.
No, because I don't know. You're gonna.
Okay, now think
I'm
about it
scared.
while I tell you. I guess this also ties into our friendship, but like I like how we have the same creative mind.
Oh yeah.
We work really well
I
creatively.
agree.
We've never really disagreed on each other. Like even setting this up, I had like I guess a draft in my head of how it would look like, but I didn't know how to execute it. And then when Abby came, everything just kind of worked all together. Even creating the podcast was one of those. Every single video we've ever created, like we've never had any disagreements about it. Editing a video for school was easily like one of the easiest things. Another thing I admire about you is how smart you are. I think you're very
In what
smart.
way?
Like not just like street smart, like you understand how life works, but also like academically. You've always been very academically smart. I've always been jealous of that, but then I realized I have a different, stronger suit. And then I guess another thing is I really admire your fashion sense. I think like
You never like tell me these things. I'm like,
you know what works with your body, you know what works with the environment that you're in. Like literally planning today, I was like, hey, we're gonna have like a date night kind of vid. And then she was like, is this cute? And then for my birthday, I was like, this is how we're gonna dress up. She already figured it out. Like you always
got that on.
You always put that shit on.
Yeah, I really.
Okay, now I'm ready for mine.
I'm scared. Okay, wait.
No,
I'm just gonna say things, okay?
Okay.
But they're not gonna necessarily be like,
yeah,
my favorite thing about you. I love how comfortable you make me feel around you. What? I can be no, I swear to God, like every time I'm with you and every time I hang out with you, I think I've told you this like once or twice, but I really want you to understand how real I am. Every time I'm with you, it feels like the
world stops spinning.
Literally.
And you could, babe, this is not you.
What? What? And like the romantic way. You know, every time I'm with you, it always feels like time stops and like the world stops and everything outside of like us doesn't exist.
Not too loud now, my man can hear you.
No, that's true. You know, like when we were talking about going to St. Joseph, like St. Joseph was our spot. And a lot of the times, whenever we went, it was always just the both of us. And when, you know, we'd be like sitting next to each other, like looking at the view, we'd be talking, or even if we're not talking, it genuinely feels like the world outside the external world does not exist, and it's just you. This is more about you. I love how intelligently outspoken you are, and how good you are at communicating boundaries and communicating your needs. Like, you're so good at it. I admire it every time, because, you know, you would always text me like, you know, problems you'd be having with friends or maybe your parents or past relationships. And whenever something bothered you, you'd always come to me and be like, oh, this is bothering me so much, and like I can't stop thinking about it. And like sometimes I'll give you advice and like words of advice, but like in the end, you always knew what to do. You always knew. You're so mature in that level when it comes to communicating what you need and the boundaries you want to set, like around the people, with the people around you. And like I've always been like, you don't need me. Like, why do you text me like needing to? Maybe you need me to like vent and whatnot, but like in the end, like you know exactly how to voice yourself, and you're so good at it. You know, you're like, I admire it. I remember like you would talk about, you know, issues with your mom sometimes, but like you knew exactly how to handle it in the end. And when I'd like look at your podcast, I would tell you these things. You'd be like, oh, did you like the podcast episode today? I'd be like, yeah, you're so good at explaining things, at like understanding the vibes, and like, yeah, you're just so good at voicing yourself.
What's something you discovered about yourself that you wish you had known earlier?
About myself.
Known earlier.
I need to. I feel like this is an emotional one.
I wish I knew I was autistic earlier.
I wish I knew there was something wrong with me earlier.
No, actually, that's pretty good.
Right?
If I had known I was...
Because it could...
Okay, well, it's not concrete and 100% that I'm autistic, but the signs are there. People have told me I'm autistic, and you know what? It makes kind of sense. But if they had told me that maybe like 10 years ago, maybe something would have changed.
When you think about like, oh wait, I'm autistic.
Like I told Abby that, and then she like the conversation moved on. Like we were no longer talking about this anymore, and then she was like, you know what?
It
like
makes so much because I had time to think. I'm like, wait, they're autistic. Like, oh my god, it makes so much sense.
She's like, because sometimes like when we're having conversations, you'd be like, okay, I don't want to talk anymore, bye.
Okay, I'm done with the conversation. I don't know if that's an autistic thing, but like, because no one normal would be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I asked that to come, and he told me he thought I was joking when I said that, and I was like, no, I'm being
when you
dead
think
ass.
about it, like I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but like because you know we're best friends, and I yap a lot, like you saying that keeps me in check. I'm like, oh, I'm yapping too much and I'm giving you overstimulation. You know what I mean? But like when you think about like normal people, I don't know what's the word, non-autistic people. When you think about non-autistic people, they're not in conversation like, okay, I'm walking out of this conversation right now because I'm not feeling it.
No,
but you
like I think about it when you had said that to me, I was like, wait, that happens a lot. You remember in high school when like I would hang out with people without you and I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I just walk home.
Yeah, do you ever realize that?
No, but never since you said it, I was like, wait, that makes sense.
I've always noticed that because you do it all the time. Like it's second nature to you. You do it all the time, but like and I always ask myself like, why? And like eventually I'm like, oh, that's just Ravina. Like Ravina be like that all the time. But then when you like told me like, at dinner, they fucking told me this. Oh yeah, I'm autistic by the way. Do you know why? Is it because like it's too much or like you're not feeling it anymore?
It's a lot. It's a mix of like I'm overstimulated. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just like I need to be in my head.
Yeah.
Like I need silence. I just need to be. But the reason why it was brought up to me is because actually I don't want to talk about it. How has your understanding of being queer has changed since you were younger?
Maybe because of school too. I got to really understand queerness as Well, I'll go with like the labels, like being lesbian, being gay, being pan, whatever. Like it's all a social construct and it's all a colonial construct too. Like before settlers and whatnot, I'm getting really academic here. Before settlers and whatnot, there was just, you know, people were fucking, you know, and there was no question about it. No one was telling like, oh, you're a lesbian, we're gonna burn you at the stake or not. It was only until, you know, the settlers arrived that they put these constructs on sexualities when really like everyone would just be loving each other. Like for all we know, the straightest person like in the room has a little queer desire inside of them. And I guess like another thing I learned, and only like recently, because I take film theory, I take film classes, and sometimes we talk about queer theory in film. And there was one thing my teacher brought up that was so interesting. And it's the idea that when you're in love or when you're sexually attracted to someone, it isn't the sexual identity that comes first, it's the desire that comes first. You don't fall in love with someone and be like, oh, I'm a lesbian. Like that's not first. What's first is the desire. It's like, oh, you're sexually attracted to, you want this person. And that like encompasses like sexuality, like in general. Like identity doesn't come first, it's the desire that you have for someone that comes before.
What's a moment you truly felt powerful in your creative identity as a queer Filipino woman?
Whoa. And like this is not new. Like a lot of the works, the little short films I make like in school too, it is about my Filipino identity. It is about my cultural identity and my ethnicity and what it's like to be Filipino and what it's like to be a second generation Filipino immigrant too. I'm like one of the only Asian people in my entourage, so I like that I have that power. I could be like, yeah, I'm gonna represent my community, I'm gonna represent my culture and whatnot. But I think like moments where I feel the most powerful is when people come up to me about my films and be like, yo, like I think you were really genius, like pointing that out. Or, you know, because I know in one of my films, even though it looks like a fun little, you know, short film, I do sprinkle some commentary and some critique on, you know, imperialism or like colonialism or colorism, even like in, you know, in the Philippines. But like sometimes I get people come up to me and be like, yeah, I think what you did there was really clever. Or like I think like what you're doing here is super deep. Because once again, when I make these films, they make sense to me. But in the end, I'm always like, will other people get it? But then when people do get it, I'm like, wait, like, I'm good at what I do. So I think that's when I feel the most powerful.
I think the difference between Abby's program and my program, which we've already talked about before, is that Abby has the liberty to explore that. And I don't. Like, I can't really creatively say anything about who I am, if that makes sense. Like, I can't make a documentary about being Filipino and Pakistani and in Canada and like questioning my identity and stuff like that. But I think the one time that I truly felt like I never really felt part of the community, whether it was Filipino or Pakistani. I think I always just kind of felt like an outsider, even though I grew up Filipino. The time where I really did feel like I was part of the community is when I actually wrote the article about you. And a lot of Filipino people had messaged me, like people telling me, oh, my mom read your article, like that was crazy. And a bunch of Filipino people were posting it on their stories, people I didn't even know. And the Filipino community was really just like enforcing that story, and it was really important to us as a community. Like it wasn't just about racism, it was our people standing up against racism. It was like us as a community, like this is something that we face all the time. And I think the Filipino community is very tight and very they like to support each other, so I think that was
They're
one
very
of them.
like they will stand up
Yeah.
for each other.
So I think writing that, like as a Filipino woman, that made me feel very included. And I think the other part of, I guess it wasn't part of the question, but a part where I felt like I was part of the Pakistani community is that one time I did a vlog when I went to Pakistan. I did some bullshit vlog when I went there for the first time, and it was just like videos of me and my family going to the zoo, or like us going out to eat, going to like a cave. It was just like something very simple, because it's not, I don't know, it's not a touristic place, but after posting that, there was so many views, so many comments, and I had never seen that many support from them before. It's just people don't go to Pakistan, so that's why when they finally see something, it's like, oh my god.
They felt seen. And they were like, thank you for showing our country.
And I was like, you know what? Like,
that's so cute.
I don't realize I have that voice until I do something like that, and I'm like, oh shit, I could actually make a difference.
You realize how both of our answers is basically like the support.
As a Filipino person, does your family have any superstitions, and do you believe in any?
You have a lot, don't you think?
I have two main ones. I guess three. One, your floorboards can't be parallel to your bed.
Oh.
So like if your floorboards go like this, your bed can't be facing like this. It has to be perpendicular.
I didn't know.
Another one is we don't sweep the floor at night, because my mom said
So witchy. Yeah.
it's like
Don't sweep
you're
the
like
floors. Don't sweep the floors at night?
yeah, you're like sweeping off all the good juju.
All the good.
All the
All the
juju.
good. I'm like all the bad. Like
all
that's a
the
good thing. No.
You're sweeping away all the good spirits. And then a third one, I guess maybe it's like a family thing that we do, but like I'm assuming maybe you do that too, but we give out food for whenever it's like a dead person's birthday or their death day. We pray for them and we leave food out, and like we leave like a good, like as a meal, like as if they were eating with
You're
us.
Definitely more superstitious than my own parents.
We're native.
We don't now that I think about it, we don't have superstitions.
What about like
that.
like reincarnation? Like if my grandma died, as really?
No. I mean, we've had death in the family for sure, but I don't think we're spiritually inclined like that.
Yeah, my family
Not at all. You are.
Yeah, my family.
I've always noticed that.
They believe that when my grandfather passed away, he reincarnated into a fly, and they say it's because
A fly.
no, because when he died, the next day
There
the
were
house
flies.
was filled with flies. And then another time is my grandma reincarnating to a butterfly, which is something that a lot of
I know
people
that
say. And I believe that because I think it was the death day of my grandmother, and my mom the night before had a dream about her mom.
Yeah.
And then that day we went outside, and it was kind of snowy, and there was a butterfly outside.
Yeah, I remember those things, but I remember like there was I don't know why this is so specific. I remember going to your old place, and you had a dead butterfly, and like
That was the butterfly that we found.
that was you.
Yeah.
They had a dead butterfly in a jar. And I'm like, Vita, why is there a dead butterfly?
It's my grandma.
here?
It's my Lola.
And that's they're like, it's my grandma. What do you mean?
What do you think our biggest strength is as a creative duo?
I like how you always talk about us as a creative duo. Creative artists. Our biggest strength, maybe that we have like we think alike a lot. And we said it before, as like if we do have disagreements, it's never like, oh, I don't like your idea. It's more like, oh, I can give you one better, or like maybe not that, but maybe this.
Yeah.
I like how we understand, and sometimes it's unspoken. Like we just get each other. We don't even need to like speak it out loud. Like we just get each other.
What's something we survived together that we never really talked about? Survived. I'm gonna say it because I guess it's my trauma. But
It's a lot of your trauma, to be honest. I feel like I experienced your trauma with you.
yeah.
It's very shared.
But there was one day that really stuck with me. It was the first day that I ran away from home. It was on my birthday. And we were going to Kai's house. And I packed up all my stuff before going to school. So it was after school. We went to my house. We packed a little bag of clothes for me. And we were in the bus. Going to Kai's house, and it was my birthday, and it didn't feel like my birthday because I was just really
it was so
going through
sad.
it.
It was such a sad day.
And then Abby and I were reading a book that semester in English of what it's like to be a part-time Indian.
Oh,
I think it was that.
yeah. I think,
I think, and yeah, it was that. And then she had given me she wrote a birthday card for me, and in the quote, it was a quote from the book about how one of us,
I don't remember this.
about how one of us has to make the leap to do something better for themselves, and that really stuck with me. And she gave me $50 because it's like it's the end of the month and you need to buy your Opus card, and it was
and
so
I felt bad because financially you didn't have any money, so I was like, and I'm like,
why'd you look at me like that when you said that you didn't have any money?
No, because also you weren't gonna you were gonna move somewhere else. I'm like, how are you gonna go to school? So I'm like, please, like, take this. You need to buy like tickets. What was the quote? I don't remember.
I don't know
that.
specifically, but I know it was a quote about how the guy, like, he was Native American, and he was going to an English, like a white school, because he was very academically smart, and how he had to make that leap to do better for himself and for his community, and he like kind of felt bad and guilty for leaving his family behind. Like, she was just telling me that it was okay to do what I was doing, and like sometimes I have to do things
you have to make sometimes, like, because I knew it was good for you. And I think I wanted you to understand that, like, sacrifices are it's gonna hurt other people, you're gonna get hurt, but, like, you know, things like this are needed for you to be better. There was a period where your parents were threatening to send you away. Do you think they were fucking with us? Or were they serious? Because that's a mean prank to do on little kids. Your parents were threatening.
I think there was a little bit of truth.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I remember I cried so hard for nights. I'm like, oh, they're gonna take my best friend away.
Yeah, because at the end of high school, I fully think I wasn't gonna be here anymore.
Yeah, and like the way that you were so convinced, I'm like, fuck, it's real. Oh my god, they're going away. And do you know how happy I was when, I don't remember how you broke the news to me. No, I remember, when you told me, you're like, no, they're not sending me to Paris. I was so happy. But you gave me a fright. You know what happened? You showed me plane tickets to somewhere, and I'm like, Vina, are they sending you away again? And you're like, yeah, they are. And I'm like, don't do this to me. And like, no, I'm just going to the Philippines for a month. That's it. I'm coming back. I'm like, you're coming back, right? You're like, I'm coming back. Fuck. I was so scared. Do you remember that day? Yeah. I thought you were fucking with me too.
That was the best vacation I ever had. We're gonna stare each other in the eyes for 4 minutes.
No, actually, after that, that's the thing. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's the 36 questions, and then they stare each other in the eyes.
I feel like the questions that you made to cater to us and the 4-minute eye contact would be crazy.
We would actually fall in love. And the liquor.
The liquor's gone. Oh.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this episode of Rice Hour with my beloved lover.
You didn't use best friend this time.
Okay, my best friend.
I was okay with lover, damn.
Oh.